Hello, welcome to an episode that I never thought I'd have to give. But my name's Taco. This is my buddy, my man, the favorite of everyone, Yoshi. Hope everyone is doing well today. So today is not a video game stream. It's not about bearded dragons. Uh, this is about my mental health experience from being at a mental health hospital. You may have noticed I was gone for 9 to 10 days, and I had mentioned in a community post that I was going to seek help. I'm not going to go get into why I entered there, but it was just something that broke me down, and it was on Monday, August 22nd, and I was spiraling in my head with negative thoughts, and I knew if I stayed home, something bad would happen because it was just going further and further down. So I contacted my excellent therapist, and she got me in within like 45 minutes. And we had a long discussion about everything. And it was not a definite thing that I was going to go to a mental hospital. We were really debating if maybe I could stay for a friend for a couple of days, or can I deal with it at home? But ultimately, we both decided it would be best for me to go to a mental hospital. I never thought I would be in one of those facilities. It was kind of a pride thing for me not to be in one. So it was a little bit of a humbling thing. But I also knew I had to do it for myself. Um, had to come back home for 2 hours and do some quick laundry and pack. I packed like my Nintendo Switch, some earphones for my cell phone, chargers. I put my Bible in there, and then a bunch of random clothes. Since I've never been to one, I didn't know about any type of rules. So I'll get into that a little bit in a couple of minutes. But between 11 o'clock to me checking in about 4:30, it was like I had the issues, went to the therapist, got home, quickly did stuff, and then made it to the mental hospital. It was kind of hard to find the main entrance. I was like driving around the whole the whole campus, and finally I found you're a security guard or janitor or groundskeeper, and he kind of helped me find the main entrance. Uh, the intake went fast. They asked several people ask you, how are you doing? Why do you need to be here? And then insurances and all that good stuff. And then before you actually enter the ward, they go through all your belongings. They do a hand wanding. Their hand wanding was weak. It was way too far away to detect anything. And when we uh, uh, when we went through my stuff, found out no cell phone. I kind of figured that one. Uh, no charging cables. I could see why. No Nintendo Switch. That hurt. Uh, just because I was planning on that was going to be kind of a relaxing tool. Like that's one of my coping mechanisms is play, uh, video games. Uh, my Bible, they had to cut the little ribbons to hold, your that act as a bookmark. They had to cut those short. I got to take that in. Um, they had to pull a drawstring out of one of my shorts. Couldn't wear a belt. Got my shoes taken away because they had laces. Which there's a long story with the shoes that I'll talk about later. It's kind of a funny story. And so finally, I get into the unit and they put me in like a side room where they're gonna check vitals and all that type of stuff. Where are you going, Yoshi? And kind of tell you what's gonna go on the ward. And like the doors open, you can see the whole ward, and someone is just freaking out, dropping F bombs everywhere, like super pissed off. And at that point, I was like, crap, what did I get myself into? Like that fight or flight instinct totally went to flight. Like it was like, I gotta get out of here. Also, because I went there at like 4:30, I missed supper. So, and I didn't really get lunch either because of how fast things were going. So I was getting really hungry as well. Luckily, they have like some lunch bags, and they gave me one with like a ham sandwich in it, and so survived that way. Also, at that point, I learned no caffeine, no soda. That was going to make it interesting because if I don't have my caffeine, I get migraines. Now, I was really dreading that. And so, they give me my book and kind of explain things. And then they take you to like an exam room and you have to strip down, make sure you're not carrying contraband and see any injuries on yourself, like any marks, rashes, stuff like that. In case, someone tries to hurt themselves on the inside, they can tell the difference. And then I got to do the squat and cough for the first time. I was laughing because of a person called Chili DeCastro who is like all about the squat and cough and how horrible it was. It was nothing. So get out of that. It's about like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and you kind of walk out. I walked out, and like everyone is in the day room. You get glances like, "Oh, who's the new guy?" type thing. But I was kind of done for the night, and so I just kind of went in my room, took a shower. There was nice showers. There is a door to your room, but you weren't allowed to close it all the way. And then the bathroom had basically this like metallic or magnetized, like almost like a mattress that goes over the door that you can swing open, but it's all magnetized. And so that was interesting. Luckily, I got a bigger bed because of my CPAP. So, from what I understand, those beds were a lot nicer than the ones a lot of other people got. So those were twins the other people got. My feet and everything would have been way over the bed. So, and because I had the CPAP and it wasn't approved yet by a doctor, I got to use it, but someone had to stay in my room the whole night. So that first night, trying to sleep in a new place, got my CPAP on, and there'd be someone like in the corner sitting watching you. It was so weird. Like I'd wake up and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" They're like, "Good." Or like, "Do you need anything?" I'm like, "No, gonna try and fall back asleep now." It was a pretty bad first night. That second day, I met with my doctor, who was awesome. Probably the best psychologist I've ever seen. I wish I could actually keep him. He was very like wants to know what your problems are, how you're feeling, all that type of stuff, and listen to my opinion about the meds I'm on. I ended up getting taken off a med, so that was nice. And there was blood taken and meet with a social worker / therapist to go over what you want out of the program and what will happen after the program. And then there's classes throughout the day, but the doctor told me, just relax. You can relax in your room the first day and just take it easy and, get yourself acclimated to everything. The food was not good at all. It was basically everything was unseasoned, and it was like deep. It was like lower than Taco Bell grade meat. It was not pretty. It, everyone was like, the eggs are hit and miss. I didn't have any eggs. The waffle was completely dry. It just was not pretty at all. But the one savior was in the fridge. They had unlimited beef sticks and mozzarella sticks. So, you know, between the bad meals, at least we had those. And I would sneak some of those into my room for late at night, because technically we weren't supposed to have food in our rooms. And actually, the day I came in, 9 others came in. So it was kind of nice that like there was a bunch of us that all came in on the same day. Kind of got attached to 1 or 2 of them as friends. And yeah, it was, the ward I was on was half the mental anxiety stuff, which was me, and the other half was addiction. And so you were seeing people at like their very worst going through addiction. And it was kind of, it's sad to see what that part of addiction really is. And what was even sadder was you could tell who would leave and use like almost instantly as they got out. Like you would hear them talk about, I'm gonna get this right when I get out. And it was just like, wow. And it's sad because, you know, but all the counselors and nursing and all the staff did everything they can, but it's up to that individual to make the change. And some were just like, yep, I'm here for my mandatory 48 to 72-hour lockup and then leave. Wasn't allowed a cell phone, but I was able to get some contacts off my cell phone so I could make phone calls. My mouth was getting dry a little bit. Sorry, guys. And so I was able to, call my parents and call whoever. So that was nice. But I really focused on me, taking time to focus on what brought me there, what I need to work out on in life to really start improving things. And the first day or two while I was there, I was jonesing for like my cell phone. Like I absolutely needed it. I was panicking so much that I needed my cell phone. So it was interesting to see how addicted we can be to technology. And so, got past that, and it kind of became nice not having to worry about people calling, texting, looking on Discord, always on YouTube. I learned that always being on YouTube is one of my problems, and that I gotta work better at that. And that I probably shouldn't be around certain communities as much because it just doesn't work for my mental health. So yeah, there was that. Sorry, gotta look at my notes here a little bit. It was also a no peanut rule in the ward. So everything that would have peanuts was not allowed in. So that was kind of weird, especially when you want peanut butter. It was like wow butter. I never tried it. The showers were really nice. They're really powerful, but you had to like ask for a towel, and then you had to give it back to them and put it. They put it into the cleaner, but they wanted to keep track of the towels. I was able to see the doctor each day, which was nice because you talked to them like about the day prior and how you're feeling and everything like that. For entertainment wise, there was 2 TVs, lots of coloring books, which is not really my thing, but by the end I started using them a little bit. And then we might get some gym or game room or outside time. It was nothing real spectacular. When I was in the gym, hurt my back a little bit, but I dealt with that. Actually, already had a muscle relaxer in my prescription, so that took that away. The missing shoes. You're allowed to have shoes in the game room and then the gym and outside. The first day, we could not find my shoes. Like, they were just gone. And then the next time, they found them in a cubby, like in a different ward, and brought them over. And then finally, the third time, they couldn't find them again, and it was in a different cubby next to my room. So it was just kind of funny, the missing shoes. And even when I was leaving, people, they go to bring your shoes out, and they were having trouble again finding the shoes. It was just missing shoe gate. I had 2 big breakdowns while I was there. Just lots of negative thoughts about myself, being a failure and stuff like that. I'm very hard on myself, whether it be my poor body image, my disappointments in life, how I do on YouTube, just everything. But one thing I realized while I was there was I was able to, with the staff, the nurses and counselors and just everyone there, they were able to help me out a little bit. But also on my time alone, I was learning how much I needed my own place. That I needed to live my life and not live it as a sacrifice for my family. As much as they need help, it's not on me to sacrifice my life for them. So that was probably the biggest thing I learned. And then the Saturday prior to leaving, I got kidney stones. Yep, good old kidney stones. It was like, you gotta be kidding me. And it was the worst kidney stone pain I've ever had. It was a 9 on their pain scale. And I was just practically screaming in bed. And it took I'd say, took a good 2.5 hours to get from my bed to let me out and get to the hospital. And at the hospital, of course, someone from the staff had to be with me the whole time, so it's kind of weird that way. And it was just like, I get there and they ask if I'm safe, if I'm suicidal, and I kind of laugh a little bit because I'm like, I'm at a mental hospital. I'm currently at a medical hospital facility. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. And get back, they could tell how much pain I was in, and they gave me morphine. The morphine did nothing. It took it from a 9 to like an 8.75. And then they gave me Dilaudid, and that took it down to a good 5. And I was a little loopy from that. They did their scan, and they found a 3mm stone and a 4mm stone. They were like, all right, we're going to send you home with some pain meds, and good luck passing them. And they were sticklers about, what times I could take my pain med. And, I didn't even know if I passed the stones. I was using the little sifter thing, and there was never a stone in them. So as far as I know, they're still in my body. So that was a fun weekend. There was someone who was basically kind of a grifter who was trying to convince this one girl to go with them because she had money, and he was supposedly an ex-druggie, but he was still talking about cocaine and everything like that after he leaves. And actually, he wanted to have her try crack when they met up. And I had a long talk with her. I'm like, you need to stay here for you. You got to be careful because I don't trust, I wouldn't trust them if I was you. And actually, she took my advice and stayed, 2 extra days. And I don't think she met up with them. So I'm hoping things went well for her because she was really nice. Pretty much everyone there was nice. There was only like people have their occasional blowouts, and that was about it. And let's see, it was kind of cool. There was a girl named Paige at the desk, and she also had bearded dragons. So we talked about our beardies together, and that was a blast. Trying to think of what else. So, I was really embarrassed to go. I considered it a weakness on my part that I needed to go, but I got past it and looked at it as I had strength because I pushed myself to get the help, and I went there, and that was hard. I didn't really have any it didn't have any group therapy per se. Like there was group classes, but there was no real group therapy to talk over your issues. That was kind of a disappointment. You pretty much drank water there unless you got a prescription for Gatorade from the doctor, and I pretty much made sure to get that because I needed something with some flavor to it. But every 15 minutes they would check on you. We had on our wrist there was 2 things. There was a large Bluetooth beacon that they would come scan every 15 minutes. And then there was another one that had your identifiers for prescriptions that they, scanned. And so, they'd come with a big old cart for your meds. They take their vitals early in the morning. I was probably up earlier than they would wake me up. I was usually up by 5, and they don't wake you up till 6:30, 7 o'clock. And they they kick everyone out of the break room at 11. So pretty much bedtime is at 11. But usually I went to bed a little bit earlier than that, or I just would relax in the room and do some reading on my Bible and just take time to think. Trying to think of what else there was supposed to say. Yeah, it was just it was an interesting experience hearing different people's stories. There was 1 or 2 people there with ankle monitors, and there was a bunch that were there pending court cases. You could really see how bad addiction is. That's something I would definitely never want to go through, because you'd be laying in bed and you'd hear 2 or 3 rooms over someone just puking their guts out, and then they come out in the morning just looking like hell. And it was just kind of a worrisome thing, but I did pretty good in there. The doctor kept me in there as long as he felt I needed to be out there. I came in thinking it was going to be a 48 to 72 hour visit. Even my therapist thought that, and they're like, nope, it's 5 to 10 days. And I was in there for how many days? Let's see here. I was there for 9 days. They said the average is about 6.5, so I broke the average. But I got a lot out of it. I went to the classes. It's about challenging your negative thoughts and getting out of behavior cycles, like the negative thoughts, how to get out of that cycle. learning different coping mechanisms, everything like that. And then once I got out, or once I got my discharge papers, they put me in a full-time outpatient. It's called PHP, partial hospitalization program. It's like 6 to 8 hours each day, Monday through Friday. I wasn't very excited about that, but that's what they felt I needed, and I'm going to go with the program and make sure I'm doing well. So that's where I've been for the last 10 days or so. It's also why you won't see me streaming midday for quite a while. But Quiplash will be back. Eventually, I'll be back to full-time streaming. A goal I decided on is I'm going to talk to housing authorities and get help to get my own place so I can start living my own life. That was the big thing I got out of staying there. And so I'm looking forward to that, a new chance at life. Want to thank all the support that I've seen from everyone, welcoming me back, and those that were saying, hey, take care of yourself. I greatly appreciated that a lot. It meant the world to me. I won't be on YouTube as much. I was using that as a crutch way too much, like hiding under the sand to avoid my problems. So I'm trying to minimize what I'm going to be doing, also which communities I'm going to be watching. Other than that, it's same old me. If you need the help, get the help. That's the big thing for me, is don't feel like you're weak. There's nothing to be scared of. Just get the help you need. Because it's much better you get the help than the possibility of losing your life. Because all you're doing when you lose your life is put all the stress and grief that you are feeling, and then it all goes to your loved ones. And you don't want to do that to your loved ones. That's partly why you most likely feel awful, is because you feel like you're a burden on them. But by dying, you're actually putting your burden on them for the rest of their lives. So always remember that. Remember that you love people. I believe the suicide hotline is 988. It's in the description below. So if you are in a mental crisis, be sure to call that number and they'll give you help. Also, feel free to DM me on Discord. I'm always there to talk to. And it's not easy. Anyways, that's telling me I gotta go. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and goodbye.